Also, Complex has put out their 10 most influential women in sports. And Angel Reese is not going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlin Clark for number 1.
Somebody better check on how Angel Reese is doing after Caitlin Clark dropped a nasty crossover that left her stunned. The so-called Bayou Barbie just got outplayed by Clark, who may have just shaken up the whole women's basketball scene. Did Clark seriously drain a shot from the logo? That might have just flipped the narrative around Angel's entire image. Is this the moment the internet finally crowns the true queen of women's hoops? Grab your popcorn. This ranking might stir up more drama than LSU's locker room.
Announcing the top 10 most influential athletes right now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlin Clark, check. Breaking records. Caitlin Clark, check. Proving their impact goes far beyond the game, from sold-out arenas to game-changing moves in business and fashion. These women are leading the way. If this is a top 10 list, then sitting on the top of that list, there's only one right answer. There's only one correct choice.
Another L for Angel Reese, and this one isn't about the scoreboard, the stat sheet, or even her never-ending Twitter battles. This one cuts deeper. Caitlin Clark has officially been named the most influential female athlete of 2025. Let's be honest, was there ever really a contest? But of course, Angel Reese probably thought she was in the running. How adorable.
And Angel Reese is not going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlin Clark for number 1. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at that. I think it's hilarious. I will tell you right off the bat, I don't believe there's a singular world where Angel Reese should be ahead of Simone Biles either. There, I put that out loud.
For someone who prides herself on being that girl, it must be exhausting to constantly come second to the real star. While Caitlin Clark is out here playing chess, Angel Reese still seems stuck figuring out the rules. Clark just keeps stacking wins, breaking records, headlining major games, and genuinely moving the sport forward. Meanwhile, Reese's most memorable impact so far? Inspiring a new wave of bad sportsmanship. Please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel for more awesome content. Thanks.
The woman who's been putting women's basketball on her back for the better part of 3 years now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlin Clark has men watching women's basketball.
Let's talk about what true influence really looks like. Real impact means bringing both longtime fans and curious newcomers to women's basketball, packing arenas and sparking billion-dollar TV deals. It's when your name gets mentioned alongside legends not because of drama, but because of undeniable talent. When Caitlin Clark steps into a gym, the WNBA, NBA, and every major sports outlet scramble to cover her. She doesn't have to chase respect, it's handed to her. Meanwhile, Angel Reese seems to depend on social media stunts, relentless self-promotion, and a victim narrative that could fill an Olympic stadium, all just to stay in the spotlight.
I shouldn't be surprised, and yet I'm still surprised because Indiana Fever preseason, not even like preseason, exhibition game with the Indiana Fever are going to play the Brazilian national team at Carver Hawkeye Arena, Caitlin's college facility, sold out. They went on sale this morning at 9 a.m. for Fever season ticket holders, Iowa donors, and Iowa season ticket holders for women's basketball. And then general admission was supposed to go on sale tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm hearing rumblings of like maybe scalpers got in, like the secondary market is already crazy.
But don't worry, Angel's had a share of viral moments. Like that time she made headlines for complaining about not getting the same treatment as Caitlin Clark. Because, of course, sulking is the new path to influence. Here's the truth. Respect isn't something you can demand, it's something you earn. Too bad no one told her that before she built her brand around playing the victim. Once again, she finds herself in the shadow of someone whose talent speaks louder than any tweet ever could.
Because when we went to the WNBA games and we went to go watch Caitlin Clark when they came to play the Washington Mystics in DC, and they shut they had to move the game from the Washington Mystics WNBA arena to the actual Washington arena where the Wizards played, and it was packed. It was sold out for people to see Caitlin Clark. That did not happen the day before that when they went to Chicago to play Angel Reese.
It's almost laughable how every time Angel Reese tries to outshine Caitlin Clark, it ends up blowing up in her face. Caitlyn makes headlines just by casually dropping 40 points on a Tuesday. Meanwhile, Angel grabs attention through controversial comments, then acts shocked when the backlash rolls in. Clark has earned her spot as the face of women's basketball with pure talent and consistency. Reese, on the other hand, seems desperate to fuel a rivalry that only exists in her head. It's like she's suffering from main character syndrome, without the skills to back it up. Clark's dominance has exposed the cracks in Reese's carefully curated image. The performative confidence, the constant thirst for attention, the never-ending victim routine. It all falls apart next to someone who lets their performance speak for itself. It's like watching someone claim to be a movie star while standing next to an Oscar winner. Honestly, it's hard not to cringe.
Collegiate level, Caitlin Clark has broken records. At the professional level, Caitlin Clark has broken records. Viewership, Caitlin Clark has broken records. Attendance, Caitlin Clark has broken records. Merchandise, proving their impact goes far beyond the game. From sold-out arenas to game-changing moves in business and fashion, these women are leading the way. Business and fashion, you saw the NIL deals rolling out. You see the sponsorship deals that she currently is a part.
With this latest blow, Angel Reese faces yet another setback while Caitlin Clark continues to solidify her place as the undeniable star of women's sports. This isn't just about rankings, it's about how the world sees Caitlin as the future of the game, a true innovator, and a transformative talent. Meanwhile, Angel seems to linger on the sidelines, making noise without much to back it up in the win column. But hey, there's always next season, right? Maybe if she spent less time curating her social media presence and more time refining her actual game, she might finally see the success she talks about so often. For now, she'll have to settle for being the loudest in the room, while Caitlin keeps showing why she's the only one who truly commands the spotlight. Let's be honest, Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed queen of influence, couldn't even draw enough attention to fill the stands for her preseason debut with the Chicago Sky. Not even charity-level turnout. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark can sell out arenas with a casual appearance. Tickets disappear faster than Angel's humility in a post-game interview.
So that's what they got on her. Caitlin Clark, she ran away with number one. I don't think that should surprise us. She came away with number one. Caitlin Clark is redefining the entire landscape of women's sports. That's right. Her dominance on the court has shattered outdated narratives about women's sports, proving that women's basketball can be just as marketable and widely watched as men's. But the Caitlin Clark effect goes far beyond her performance. It's reshaping the entire sports landscape. Clark's impact is undeniable. Her presence alone boosts the WNBA attendance by 105%.
Indiana Fever tickets are disappearing almost as fast as common sense did when Angel Reese claimed she belonged on the most influential list before even playing a single WNBA game. Meanwhile, Chicago Sky tickets? Still very much available. Courtside, mid-level, upper deck, take your pick. Honestly, there aren't even enough fans to call it nosebleeds. Yet somehow, Angel Reese still believes she's on the same level as Caitlin Clark when it comes to impact. Delusional might feel harsh, but what else do you call it when someone sees themselves as the star while performing on an empty stage? At this point, she's like a band selling merch before dropping their first hit. The irony? People were interested in seeing Angel Reese, but mostly to watch her go up against Clark, the player who actually sells out arenas, moves merchandise, and brings real excitement to women's basketball. Left on her own, though, silence. Turns out fans aren't flocking to see someone pout and play the victim. Who would have thought?
Not a very good seat. I'm guessing 10 grand minimum courtside to go see Caitlin Clark.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here quietly rewriting the record books, selling out arenas, pulling in record-breaking viewership, and having her jerseys fly off the shelves. That's real influence, not the kind that comes from endlessly retweeting your own highlights. But sure, Angel, keep telling us the world should bow down to your iconic status while fans scroll through SeatGeek wondering if they can give away Chicago Sky tickets. The mental gymnastics it takes to believe Angel Reese is on the same level as Clark is truly something to behold. One is filling arenas, inspiring the next generation, and making WNBA XX giddy over revenue. The other seems more focused on convincing everyone she matters, mainly because Clark exists. Here's a reality check. Without Caitlin Clark, Reese would be just another player with attitude and a stat line that doesn't exactly scream superstar. At least she's confident, right? It's kind of amazing how much self-belief someone can have while being surrounded by empty seats. Maybe she's onto something, perhaps a future in motivational speaking for those who believe self-promotion is a substitute for real success. Everyone needs a niche, after all.
The hottest tickets in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark coming back to the city that she owns, coming back to Chicago after Chicago gave her such a warm welcome last year. They threw Barbie night for Caitlin Clark's arrival. They gave her pink towels. The fans were lined up on the side. She was signing autographs. How is Chicago going to welcome Caitlin Clark this next year around? How are they going to top Barbie night in a 9,000 seat arena? Well, easy. We move Barbie night to a 21,000 seat arena. Venue and date change. Our regular season games against the Chicago Sky are moving to the United.
While Caitlin Clark continues to sell out arenas and back it up with elite-level performances, Angel Reese seems stuck in a fantasy, believing she belongs on a most influential list right alongside Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, popular in conversation, but rarely delivering anything tangible. Reese's fans entered the season full of hype, convinced she'd dominate, steamroll the league, and silence the critics. The self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie was supposed to be a generational talent, an unstoppable force. Instead, we're watching her miss layups like a beginner at basketball camp. It's like someone replaced her hands with oven mitts. Her shots are clunky, her footwork is sloppy, and her defense? Let's just say effort isn't her standout stat. If greatness were measured in Instagram selfies, Reese would be the GOAT. But when it comes to actual basketball, OOF. Right now, it feels less like she's competing and more like she lost a dare and is just trying to get through it.
Out sports. This is about athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Caitlin Clark's game, who's very reminiscent of a Steph Curry, based on her range and shooting the three, plus everything else she does. And then you look at Angel Reese. Stop it. Stop it. There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up. On TikTok. He's put together a shitload of Angel Reese clips. And it'll say Angel Reese part 36. And it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup. She misses. Bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest shit. And my whole thing is this, dude. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby.
Caitlin Clark is grinding in the gym, building strength and draining threes like it's her job. Because it is. While Clark continues to sharpen her game, Angel Reese is showing us exactly what happens when you prioritize vibes over actual basketball fundamentals. Reese's fans love to bring up her college dominance, but here's the reality check. The WNBA isn't college ball. Defenders don't just disappear when she touches the ball. Without her old size advantage and the ability to bully 5 feet 8 inches guards under the rim, the game hits a lot harder. And so do her struggles. Let's talk about effort, or more accurately, the lack of it. Reese often moves like she's waiting for the ball to magically find her hands. There's no spark, no hustle, and certainly no urgency. Kind of like her scoring attempts. But don't worry, she's still thriving on social media, keeping the brand alive even as her on-court performance crumbles faster than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Now, about those turnovers. If giving the ball away were a skill, Angel would be first team all WNBA. The speed at which she turns a fence into a breakaway for the other team is almost impressive. Watching her play has become its own kind of entertainment. What's the next blooper going to be? A blatant travel? A pass straight to the defender? Yet another missed layup? Honestly, the suspense is better than most thrillers.
Oh, Reese! 3-on-3, part 13, let's get it! Classic long two. Bang! PSA, no rims or backboards were harmed during the filming of this video. But viewers are encouraged to look away. Bang! What? Bang! I heard her say that she might sit out if the WNBA doesn't pay her what she deserves. They say $1 million for every missed layup is fair. Bang! They are stat penning queen properly. Fair wages for all. I repeat, fair wages. Remember, they're coming to see her. Long two, butter pecan. Bang!
So, what's the latest excuse? We're back to post-game interviews filled with hollow confidence and the usual promises to silence the critics. But let's be honest, Angel, this isn't about haters. It's about performance. At this point, even her most loyal supporters might want to find a new hobby, because defending her lackluster play is getting downright uncomfortable. If there's one thing she's consistent at, it's underperforming. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just keeps leveling up, breaking records, getting stronger, and proving herself game after game. Angel Reese, by comparison, feels more like a daytime soap, all drama, no substance. Maybe it's time to trade the talking for training, or at the very least, focus on nailing the basics, like finishing a layup. That'd be a solid place to start. And let's talk rankings. Clark just landed second overall, a clear nod to her generational talent. Reese? She didn't even crack the top 10. Suddenly, the loudest voices hyping her up have gone silent. And that silence speaks volumes. It's time to stop relying on sound bites and social media and start delivering where it actually counts, on the court.
Khalil Boston and Angel being higher than Satu, that's crazy work, fam. I'm sorry. That's crazy.
Remember when everyone was claiming Angel Reese was the better player and Caitlin Clark was overrated? Well, the results are in, and they are not flattering for those takes. Clark is effortlessly establishing herself as one of the most dominant rookies the WNBA has seen, while Reese is still hovering near the bottom of the rankings, struggling to make a lasting impression. Some call Reese a team player, but if disappearing during critical moments qualifies for that title, maybe it's time to rethink what being a team player really means. And then there's the latest most influential female athletes list. Once again, Reese is left off it. This isn't just a simple snub, it's a loud and clear message from the basketball world. Performance still matters. Yet, some of her supporters are clinging to rebound stats like they are proof of superstardom, insisting she belongs on the throne. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is finally getting the recognition she's earned, and honestly, it's long overdue. As for Reese, she's starting to look like someone at a birthday party who just realized the celebration isn't about them. The spotlight's moved, and the reality is becoming impossible to deny.
Chicago Sky have announced that they are moving arenas for Indiana's home game. Well, Indiana's road game, but Chicago's home game. This is the motion that the Indiana Fever / Caitlin.
For months, headlines have hailed Angel Reese as the undisputed face of women's basketball. But every time she hits the court, it feels more like watching a reality show contestant who thinks confidence alone can carry the game. Dominance? More like drama. Leadership? Often confused with being the loudest voice in the room, mistaking noise for real influence. Here's the twist. While Reese is out here celebrating every layup like it's a finals clincher, Caitlin Clark is quietly rewriting the record books. She's not caught up in flaunting rings she hasn't earned, she's focused on earning them. Reese, on the other hand, seems to be treating her one college title like a lifetime achievement award. It's honestly kind of amusing. Reese tried to position herself as the star of the story, but it's Caitlin Clark who's actually driving the narrative. And the best part? She's doing it without the theatrics, without the Twitter feuds, and without needing to constantly remind people how important she is. The contrast couldn't be more obvious.